Yo, what up, YouTube? It's Terrence with Night Rider Fitness, man, where fitness is life. In this video right here, man, is how to calculate your macros for your, cutting cycle. And you can also use these for your bulking cycle, but we'll get on that. That's another video. Basically, right now, I know a lot of you are trying to lose weight. You're trying to get lean. So I'm going to show you a very easy way to count numbers. Now, keep in mind, you're going to have to be consistent with this, and you're going to have to count these numbers daily and stay on track. That's why you need to get an app. Most of us got smartphones, so you can use MyFitnessPal. You can use MyFatSecret. There are all kind of apps out there to help you to keep track of your macronutrient ratios and or calories. So find one of those on your phone and download it and use it because you're going to need it. With that being said, what is a macro? A macro is the macronutrients that make up the calories in your food, okay? So when you turn around a food label and you look at it, it has macronutrients information, meaning proteins, carbs, and fats. Proteins, carbs, and fats. Out to the right of the protein, the carb, and the fats, there is a number. That number makes up the calories that are in each serving on the food label for the food that you're currently going to eat. With that being said, we need to find a macronutrient ratio that we can use so that it tells us how many carbs we need per day, how many proteins we need per day, and how many fats we need per day. So these are the ratios that you can choose from. 40-40-20, which means 40% of your calories are going to come from protein, 40% of that is going to come from carbs, and 20% of that is going to come from fats. You could also use a 50-30-20, 50% carb, 30% protein, 20% fat. Or you could use a 40-30-30, 30% fat, 30% carb, and 40% protein. For this video, we're going to use the 40-40-20. Since we're all trying to shred up and lose some body weight, we're going to use this particular macronutrient ratio. Now, with that being said, how many calories are in a carb and how many calories are in a protein and how many calories are in a fat? Here's the answer. You get 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. You get 4 calories per 1 gram of carb, and you get 4 calories per 1 gram of protein. Real simple. Okay? Now, as you see, fats are 9 calories per 1 gram. So fats double protein and carbs. That's the reason why we're only going from our calories that we're going to come up with. We're only going to get 20% is going to come from fats. It's not because fats are bad necessarily. It's because fats are so calorie dense. I mean, they double what carbohydrates and proteins are. Okay, and what fats are is basically like olive oil, guacamole. You get some fats and sour cream and your cheeses, things like that. That's where you're going to get your fats from, okay? And even if you go to the store and buy 80-20 ground beef, that 20% is fat. Okay, the 80% is meat or protein, and the 20% of it is fat. So now you understand about the fats. Okay, so my computers is charging right now, and as soon as matter of fact, one of them just now charged up. So now I'm about to show you how we calculate this. I'm gonna use my calculator on my computer to show you, to give you a visual. Okay, so here we go. So now we're in front of the computer. I'm going to show y'all how to do this, man. 40-40-20 is the macronutrient ratio. And so now we need to pick an activity level number. So that number will be between 13 and 17. So according to your activity level, you choose the number. 17 is the highest, 13 is the lowest, and then you have the numbers in between that. I'm going to choose a person that's not active at all, and I'm going to use their body weight as, let's say, 200 pounds. So basically, you would do 200, all right, and then you're going to multiply that by the lowest number on the scale, which is 13. It's going to give us 2,600 calories. Now we're going to find out the 20% of our macronutrient ratio, which is the fats. So we're going to do 2,600, all right, multiplied by 0.20, because it's 20%, gives us a total calorie intake of 520. So 520 calories a day is going to be coming from fats. okay, out of that 2,600. Now, you're going to take 520 to get the grams of fat. We're going to need to take 520 and divide it by 9. Okay? So now you see we divide that by 9, and it gives us 57 grams of fat per day. 57 grams of fat per day. Okay? Real simple. Now, let's find out what our carbs and proteins would be, because we're doing 40% for both of them. So the numbers are going to be the same. So you only have to calculate this once when you're doing a 40, 40, 20. All right, so basically we're going to punch back in our calories, which will be 2,600. All right. And now we're going to do 2,600 times 0.40. All right. Because that's 40%. So 0.40. And it gives us 1,040 calories a day. Okay, 1,040 calories a day. Now let's find out the grams per day. So we got 57 grams of fat per day, and we're going to find out what the grams of protein and carbs are going to be per day. So same thing, 1,040 divided by 4, because there's 4 grams of 4 calories and 1 gram of protein and carbs. All right, remember that. So it's going to give us 260 protein and 260 carb. All right, real simple. 260 protein, 260 carb, and 57 grams of fat. So that would be your 40, 40, 20. And if you choose like a 50, 30, 20, then it's going to be basically the same thing. You would just do 50, you know what I'm saying? Then you would do your 30, and then you would do your 20. But you always do the fats first, because the fats double carbs and protein. So always do that first, all right, out of whatever amount of calories that you choose. So that's it, guys. Real simple. 260 carb, 260 protein, and 57 grams of fat. I'm going to do it again real quick so that y'all can get a full understanding and show you how to do it. This time we're going to do a 50, 30, 20, all right? So we're going to take the same thing. We're going to do a 200-pound person. And we're going to multiply them by 13 again, because this person is really not active at all. We got the same number, 2,600. And we're going to have the same number for our fats, because now we're just doing a 50, 30, 20. All right. So we're going to multiply that again by 0.20. All right. Y'all should know the answer to this. It's going to give you 520 calories. Then you're going to divide that by 9. All right. Because we just done it on the other one. That's going to give you 57 grams a day of fat. Now we're going to clear it out. All right. And now we're going to find out 30% of this is going to be our protein. 30% going to be our protein. So now we do 2,600. All right. Times 0.30 this time. 780 of the calories is going to be carbs. So now you're going to divide this by 4. All right. Real simple. So you're getting 195 protein, and you're getting 57 fats so far. All right, 195 protein and 57 fats. Okay, now let's go find out how many carbs you're going to get, because now your carbs are going to make up 50% of the 2,600 calories. All right. So we're going to go and clear this off, and we're going to do 2,600 again, because that's our calories. And this time we're going to multiply this by 0.50. 0.50 equals 1,300 calories. All right. So you got 1,300 Now you want to find out the carb. So what do? You do 1,300 divided by 4. All right? Divided by 4. So, divided by 4 gives you 325 grams. So your macronutrient ratio split would look like this. 325 carb, 195 protein, and 57 grams of fat per day, if you're paying attention. 325 carb, 195 protein, and 57 grams of fat. All right, guys? Real simple, real easy. Now, my camera about to die, so let me pause this, and I'm going to show you how to read a nutrition label so you can kind of understand that fully. All right, guys. All right. So I'm in my pantry now, and I'm going to show you how to read this nutrition label. Real simple. You see at the top it says serving size is a half a cup or 133 grams. If you're counting your macros, that 133 grams is what you're going to be interested in. Now, out of that half a cup, you're going to get 140 calories. Okay? You come down, your total fats would be 3 grams per serving. And then you're going to have 1 gram of saturated fat per serving. You're going to get 500 milligrams per serving of sodium, 410 milligrams of potassium, and this is what you're going to be concerned with, is carbs. So for that half a cup, you're going to get 22 grams of carb. You come down, you see the protein, you're going to get 6 grams of protein per half cup. All right? So your macronutrient ratio will be 22 carb, 6 gram of protein, and 3 gram of total fat. That would be the macronutrient ratio. Now, depending on how many grams of fat and carbs that you choose per day, you would have to add all those numbers up with the rest of the carbs, proteins, and fats that you've already consumed. Or if this would have been your first meal, then you would add every other additional meal into these particular numbers for your carbs, fats, and your proteins. All right? Real simple. If you have a food scale, or if you don't have a food scale, I would suggest you get a food scale. If you have a food scale, I'm going to do a separate video on how to weigh out your food in grams so that you're able to calculate your macros a little bit better. And again, this video is for beginners and intermediates that do not know how to count macros. So if you are a professional and you already know how to count macros, or you've been doing this for a long time, then please skip this video and go check out some of my other ones. But this video is for beginners and intermediates, all right? So I hope this helped you guys out. If you have any questions, please comment below. I will be able to answer any questions that you may have. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Night Rider Fitness, we out.